How are you? How's it going? I hope that your day has been awesome and that you're getting ready to enjoy an incredible weekend. I know it is quick since we had the introduction to Pan That Palette not too long ago, but it is time for an update for the back-to-back Pan That Palette, just to stay on track with things. So if you're curious about the MAC shadows that I'm working with, because I'm going to kind of jump around and do my best to finish as many MAC shadows as I can for my collection, I will go on and link my introduction video up in the cards above as well as the description box so you can kind of get a peek at the shadows I'm going to be working with. And I probably need to make a video talking about the singles that I have in that MAC palette I put together. But otherwise, I have the MAC and the Flesh palette, the warm neutrals, and then I've got a couple of quads, and then I've got a smattering of things that I'm working on. So there is that. Now, as far as what I'm updating you on, for January, I have been working with my MAC Semi Sweet x9 palette, as well as 6 shades that I have pulled from my singles. So let's first talk about the singles that I pulled, because when I started off January, I was gung-ho ready to wear an all red, smoky, warm tone look. I actually fell in love with warm toned red eyeshadow back when I was painting the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette. I was able to recreate that look using other shadows from my collection, in particular my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. And now I figured out a way to make it with MAC shadows. And so when I started off the year, I pulled out, let's kind of walk you through the singles that I have in here. The first one that I really started working with was Soft Brown. I love wearing this in my crease. Then I go through, this is the shade that I actually had to pull out because I'd forgotten that I mixed it in with Juvia's Play Shadows. But this is a matte peach shadow called Tete a Tete, I think is how you pronounce it. It's just an easy, warm, kind of a mid-toned peach. I love to throw it on the eyelid, or if you want something to warm up your crease, it's a great way to do that. And then I go through and then I use All-Star, not All-Star, that is from the Subculture palette. Well, the same shade from MAC is called I'm Into It. I love to use this in my crease, and then I smoke it out with a matte espresso brown. I go through and I use this shade that I've already hit pan, and this is called Gold Bit. It's a beautiful peachy toned highlighter. I love it in my inner corner. I wear it on my brow bone. You can also multitask it as a face highlight if you so choose. It's just a really gorgeous color. And then I go through with MAC's Coral to smoke out my crease just a little bit, blend any line so there's nothing harsh kind of, you know, coming out from that eye look since it is intense. And then I go through with, in the shadows, this beautiful cobalt blue on my lower lash line. I absolutely love that look. It's an easy go-to everyday smoky eye that is a little bit different, but at the same time packs a lot of punch. And it's also kind of fun because I'm noticing with the new makeup releases, burgundy is coming back in. So if you're curious about the Get Ready With Me with this, I have footage filmed of my version with the Anastasia Subculture palette. I need to put that together and get it edited and uploaded because life has been crazy. You know how that goes. And then I have footage for using my MAC shadows if you want to see how you could, you know, come up with a similar vibe out of your collection as well. So it's been a lot of fun. However, that being said, I changed vibes because, as you can see, I am not wearing red eyeshadow today. I actually got a new nose stud not too long ago, and it's this beautiful, like very simple diamond in a gold setting or gold bezel setting, and it clashed horribly with the red eyeshadow look. And you would think that they would go together because this is an easy go-to, right? But when I put on the nose stud and then I had that really smoky red eyeshadow on and then I had bold glasses on top, it was just too distracting for your eye to focus on something if you were speaking to me. So what I decided to do was tone down the makeup, pick some glasses that had little diamond accents, and I'm really loving this simplistic, everyday kind of vibe. And so right now, the only shadows I'm really using from this palette, I go through with Soft Brown all over my crease area, and then I dust it very lightly onto my lid. I use a little bit of Gold Bit in my inner corner to offer some brightness to my eyes. And then I'm going through with the mid-tone brown, and that is literally my eyeshadow look. So easy. I love it. And then I dust a little bit of blush on top of it, and then it looks like this multi-dimensional kind of one shadow vibe, but not. So I'm really enjoying it. I've finally figured out when I get in a mood to do something when I'm panning, I need to just go with it. Like just run with the idea and pan until I'm absolutely sick of it, and then move into the next thing. It's keeping me within my collection. It's keeping me excited about doing my makeup and rediscovering favorites, because this one shadow kind of idea is not something that's ever really appealed to me, because with my hooded eyes, it's kind of hard to make that work, to be honest, when I'm wearing my glasses. But I feel like with this, you know, couple of tones of matte brown, it actually comes together in a very soft, subtle, beautiful way. And it's something that I can wear, I mean, all year round. So that was super exciting. That being said, it takes us into the MAC Semi Sweet x9 palette. And I have hit some pan in this. And I will be very honest, I hit pan in that matte espresso brown in the last row, because reason number one, I multitask this shadow regularly. It is something that I've used as an eyebrow powder, and I have a very stiff eyebrow brush that was from Bare Minerals years ago. It does have a lot of kickback when I gently tap it into an eyeshadow pan and then run it through my brows. So that was one way. I also use it as an eyeliner. I use it to smoke out eye looks, like especially when I wear the red eyeshadow, I will smoke out my outer V with that shadow. And when I put my eyeshadow brush into the pan, I mean, it pretty much covers the surface of the pan, because these are just small areas to kind of work with. So I was really surprised, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to see pan this early in the game, because I know for me, it's extremely motivating to kind of get a move on and see some progress. So that's always kind of fun. But going back to my current eyeshadow look that I'm really loving, the other shade that I'm going through on top of my crease with to kind of smoke out and give me a little bit of depth is this mid-tone brown right above. And I'm trying to think what it is called. Everyone's Darling, maybe? No, it's next to Mocha Minded. Yes, it's Everyone's Darling, I believe. But it's just an easy step above, you know, wearing just a mid-tone brown. It's a little bit deeper than that, but not much. Just very light on the eyes and super easy. And then I'll also smoke it out on my lower lash line. It's just a simple, easy, kind of fun color to work with. And honestly, it was a shade that at first I was kind of like, it's not the most flattering tone for my eyes. But when I pair it with a warm brown in my crease, I really enjoy it. And it's been kind of nice to just go with an all matte look for a while, just to give me something different. The shade that surprised me, but I'm actually really falling in love with, is this taupe shade down here in the corner. And it's kind of similar to Mercury from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, which I love wearing when I want to do a silver and coral and gray kind of vibe. So it automatically drew my eye into this palette, because that's something that I want to do with this pan as well. And then I've got a shade that's very similar in the Flesh palette. That's one thing about MAC. They are notorious for like constantly repeating the same shades and then putting them in different packaging. And I'm noticing a lot of similarities with Anastasia shadows to things that are available within MAC too. So that's been kind of interesting. But going back to the shadow, I love wearing this in my brows. I was watching Sean Johnson East Get Ready With Me video. I guess it's been about a week ago. And I've always been really a huge fan of how she does her brows. And one of the things she was talking about was using a taupier shadow. And I went, my hair's really dark, but let's give it a try, go a little bit lighter. And I actually really enjoy it. I have the taupe in my brows today. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be enough to kind of wear like in the summer months when I'm a little bit tanner. But for right now, I really do like the color in my brows. It's nice, and it's giving me a way to really step into quite a few shades out of this palette. And then funny enough, on the days that I didn't always wear I'm Into It from my single shadows, I've got literally the exact same color right here in Mocha Minded that I kind of worked on a little bit. Not enough to really make a dent in it, but I do have some usage on it. And so I'm going to just kind of keep going with it and see if I can hit pan on some more more of these shadows and then move on to some other shades in the collection and then try to start finishing some things off. So that's it, short and sweet update. Like I said, it's gonna be, you know, kind of a smattering, jumping around my palettes. So I'm always gonna have that intro video linked so you can kind of keep ahead of what I might be working on, or maybe pull out some similar things in your collection if you're wanting some motivation and some inspiration to pan. But that about wraps it up for now. I really appreciate you sticking it out with me. And like I said, I've got some get ready with me's that are in the works for you. I just need to have the, you know, have a little bit more time to get them put together and out for you. So that's it for now. Have a fabulous weekend, and I look forward to catching up with you real soon. Until then, take care.